Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Alex.
My name is Robin. Sorry.
There we go.
I
Okay,
always miss that.
we'll get better at it. But essentially, it's the fourth time that we are doing this for whole Flipboard out. Now, the idea is we've reviewed three sets of three tokens. And so this week we're gonna just essentially explore what allocation we would put towards those tokens that we selected as the hold token. And yeah, let's crack on.
So the three tokens were, one of them was STORJ, which I think was the most recent one we did last week. And that one is a decentralized file storage token. And the second one was Band Protocol, which I think was 2 weeks ago. We chose to hold that one. And the final one, which was, I guess, 3 or maybe 4 weeks ago, was BLZ. I think we did one before that, but I can't remember what the token was because we didn't actually get the recording sorted. So I'll just focus on these three and let me know if you remember what that one was.
Yeah, no, same thing. I think that one time we got a bit, we're very unprepared. I don't think that we're ever better prepared, but I guess that's the fun of it. And
yeah, it's all a bit improvised, which is the way we like to roll.
Yeah, absolutely.
So STORJ was, like I said, last week, we said this was the hold token of three hotly contested tokens. And so in the last week, it's actually done quite well. It's gone up from about 24 cents, 25 cents to 28 cents. Not a huge increase, but an increase all the same. So this one, just to recap, was a decentralized file storage protocol. Pronounced storage. Sorry, I should keep calling it STORJ. Basically, it's a decentralized network of nodes to host user data, similar to IPFS, Filecoin, all of that stuff. It's been around since December 2014, which is pretty impressive. I can't remember the backing of these guys. I don't think this was the token that had the big Silicon Valley VC backing, but I'm sure it does have some serious funding. The second one was Band Protocol. This one, I think, was, so let's just review. We did this about 2 weeks ago, and the price has dropped a little bit. It was about, I don't know, about $1.10, something like that. 2 weeks ago, it's now gone to just dip below the dollar mark. So if you'd invested when we said it was the whole token, you probably would have lost a small amount. This one is a Cosmos thing, I think. Oh no, sorry, this is just, this is Cosmos. This is this is Oracle data on the Cosmos blockchain. And Cosmos, I think, has been dropping off recently. I did another, here we go. This is the Cosmos native token. And it has been dropping pretty consistently over the last month. So maybe that's had an impact. That was the second one. And the final one was BLZ, which we reviewed maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago now. And this one's done pretty well as well. It's gone up from around, I think it must have been the 0.1, so 10 cent mark. It's gone up to 16 cents. It's been pretty much consistent over the last month. It's been going up. So if you had invested in that, which we didn't, then it would be a positive return if you sold now. But based on this incredibly small sample set, I'd say that we are doing pretty well and in terms of predictions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's actually really good. A couple of these. I mean, if you see over the long-term storage in particular, it's very clear hold going on there. And obviously, if you're in Twitter space, you will not be able to see what we're looking at on the screen, but don't worry, everything's going to go on YouTube later on. So yeah, feel free just to go and check it out. Brilliant. So would you like Robin to crack on and maybe just explain, if you had $100, how much would you allocate towards each of these? What's your reasoning behind it?
So yeah, I want to pick a balanced portfolio. That's the main objective here. I don't want to invest everything in something that is going to be risky. Obviously, every crypto investment is inherently risky, but we want to manage that risk a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to look at is the backing. Like I said, I think one of these has some pretty serious backing from Silicon Valley VCs, and that's by no means a guarantee of success. But of course, if you've got friends in high places, that definitely helps. And if there's some serious funds behind that, that gives them the runway and the freedom to pivot or to explore other opportunities if it doesn't work out, like with any startup. So I think before what we did was we just went through to the websites and looked for those big names. So I'm going to scan through the BLZ websites, and it's been listed on several exchanges. But I can't find their backing. Let's try Cosmos. Let's get rid of that one. Let's try Band Protocol. Check out their websites. There's probably a better way to find. Maybe Crunchbase or something would have details on each of these amount of funding and stuff like that. It's probably best not to actually look on their website. But I know for a fact, because I remember on their website, one of these has listed. Here we go. Integration partners, validators, exchange listing. So these guys have got a lot of partners. No huge names. OKC is a big exchange. Cello or Cello, I don't know how you say that, is another blockchain. So these guys are probably pretty big. And STORJ, I think, let's see their websites.
I think that if anybody is on Spaces or watching this later on, let us know in the comments or now how to pronounce this. I call it STORJ because it kind of sounds like storage.
Yeah.
But Robin calls it STORJ. So
no, it is storage. It said on CoinMarketCap that is how you pronounce it. I just completely forgot. So okay. I've been pronouncing it wrong. But okay. Storage is the correct pronunciation. These guys have. Yeah, they've got some recognizable brand names. I can't actually find the list of investors, but what I would say is top level, if they've got a big name VCs who have presumably put a lot of funding behind it, that would constitute a safer investment in my book. I think all of these are something to do with technology, like obviously they're blockchain coins, but I think both BLZ and STORJ are decentralized file storage, and Band Protocol is an on-chain Oracle service. So I'm a big fan of investing in the tools that make it possible rather than the projects themselves. If all the tools are investing in are using the same, if all the projects are using the same tools, then it makes sense to invest in the tools. The old saying of you shouldn't try and find the gold, you should sell the pickaxes to dig for the gold. That was I butchered that, but you get the point. It's much better and safer to invest in things that will continue even when the individual companies projects go up and down. So fundamentally, this is why I chose all of these as hold tokens. My favorite of the three is actually STORJ, because trying not to look too much at the price movement, because prices go up, prices go down, even though this one is currently going up. It seems to be used a little bit more. Let's have another look at their websites. I think another good way of comparing this would be to look at, I think we spoke about this in a previous one, looking at code bases that reference this technology. You can look on GitHub and other platforms for how many projects are referencing the STORJ API, the STORJ SDK in their projects, and that can give you an indication of momentum and whether or not these projects are actually being used by developers. Because a big indicator of success and future success is, are they being used by developers? But this one looks like a good option. And like I said, I think last week, I know that decentralized storage is a problem because current systems have their flaws. So anyone that can crack that nut is going to do very well. So I would do more research personally on their backing. I would maybe look at Crunchbase. I would look at how many projects using the code on GitHub, and based on that, I would try and split it maybe 50% with a safer option, and 25 and 25 on the two that were less safe. Let's say, for example, storage is the safer option. I'm not 100% sure that is the safer option, but if it was, I would go 50% storage and split the other two, bands and BLZ 25%. Yeah, that's my top level, very quick analysis. What do you think, Alex?
Okay, very interesting. Let me just make a note of this. So you're saying storage will be 50%, and then we've got band at 25%, and then you've got BLZ at 25%. Oh, excellent. Cool. Yeah, I think that's a very fair point. I just wanted to comment on having big investors as well, because I think it's important to remind everybody that nothing's really certain. Take FTX, had really big investors, and that didn't go very well. So yeah, don't take this as financial advice. Of course, we repeat it throughout all our content. Just having big investors is not an advice for you to go and buy into anything. But yeah, I think that sounds fair enough. I'd love to just jump right in. I'll do, I guess, my basic analysis. Here we go. I mean, based on everything that you just mentioned, yes, I totally agree. I think that for me, STORJ is something that looks really interesting, especially because, looking at band, we've got band over here. And again, this is exactly the same analysis that we did a few weeks ago. This is the weekly. Let me just go into the daily very quick, because I think that that's where our analysis was. Yeah, here we go. Check that out. So we were looking into this over here, and it ended up dropping, and then we've got BLZ, right? So in terms of what's going on right now, and using BLZ as a starting point, because we looked into it, was it the first week? So it was a couple of weeks ago, right? And
yeah, this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, look at what ended up happening. So it did break through this resistance at 12 cents. We did mention that it was tested once, twice, 3, 4, 5, but we can count this as a single test. But look at that, it's just broken up. So I do not think that it will just very super quick just do this. I think that would be a bit strange if it just went all up from here. I feel that probably it might move up a bit, but then see if it does a bit of retest of this as a support line. Okay, and if there's a retest of this region between 12 cents and what is this, 22 cents, if there's a bit of consolidation of the price, I think that this could be really, really good. So as a potential, originally when we said if it breaks through, it will be a 76%. I still stand by that. I think that this could be really interesting as take profit right there. And otherwise, if does a bit of consolidation, you start here. It still is really nice amount of profit. Almost 50% the one could make just getting in over here. But of course, I would wait for consolidation. As you can see at the beginning, there was consolidation between these two levels. So yeah, I'd like to see that. But this one actually looks quite interesting for me. And STORJ as well. STORJ has spent a lot of time within these two levels. Let's see. So after breaking through, it's been here for, let's see. I want to put some dates. Why is my dates not working? Huh, strange. Not showing the visual. Oh well. But anyway, let's do it like this. From 12th of September last year till now, so that's almost a year that has spent here. So I feel that, as interesting as it is, yes, there's a lot of potential gains over here, and it could be really nice once it breaks through this price there at 50 cents. So if it ends up breaking through like we were hoping, then yeah, I think that this could be a really nice hold for the long term. And then band, this is one that we said that it was our hold token last time. There's not a huge amount of TA that we did over here, apart from these levels. I think it looks a bit challenging because I think that this obviously is not going to be met, and it's going to go down to retesting this over here. The beauty of just setting these lines is that it always, you know, it's just about moving them up depending on how things look like. Of course, we never get it right, but if we move this key level slightly higher, we can actually see that that was the rejection close in these 2 weeks, and it was tested there and there, and then of course here. So we could actually look at this as a retest. Now, what is this? It means that if it ends up bouncing up, that, you know, I think that there's not a lot of movement. It could just stay within these two levels for quite a bit. Otherwise, if it ends up breaking down, yeah, it doesn't look very nice, does it? It looks like the next potential drop could be all the way from this key level all the way there, which is almost a 80% drop that could happen. So you know, while this one still could look good in the long term, so on the weekly, let's have a look. So yeah, it's been quite good in the past, but right now it's looking like it's going to be retesting this levels below 90 cents. So that being said, and sorry for a very long analysis of this, if you're on Spaces, probably you haven't seen the screen, but I would say the BLZ, it's getting my biggest play at this stage, just because it already looks like quite nice, and it could start going up. Obviously, this is based on not knowing if this price is going to be is going to stay there, because easily this, you know, if we move it there, it could be that this could be a fake out and then it drops back down, right? So key level could, you know, my key levels could be wrong in this case, but in any case, I would still bring it probably around there. I think it looks quite good, and so it does look like it's closing above this. So I would say that BLZ gets my biggest play, probably closer to a 60%, I would say. And then STORJ a bit less, of course, because like I said, it, you know, it might stay within these two levels. In any case, we've got, even if we bought here and we held it for a while and it goes to the next key level, it's still an 80% gain. But again, you know, if we go into the smaller time frames like daily, it looks like there's another potential resistance line around there. So I think that this one would get a 35% of my allocation. And with band, I would not really risk it. And the reason being is because it does look like it's going to be testing that key level. So if we go back to the daily, it looks like it's going to be, it's either going to, it's already testing this support line right here. And if it is, it will probably just stay within these levels. It doesn't look like, even if we got it around here, it's just an 8% gain, and it needs a lot of push to keep going up. And it looks like there's a, you know, bigger potential for it to end up dropping by 80%. In any case, you know, it could still break through this resistance, and so, you know, a 5% allocation wouldn't be a major loss. So yeah, I'd say that that's it. So BLZ 60, STORJ 35, and band gets a 5% from me.
Interesting. Yeah, it's great to see the lines and arrows that you created on TradingView before, because that goes to show that broadly, at least for BLZ and STORJ, that the movements were kind of in the ballpark of what we were expecting. Bands was obviously incorrect, and that went in the other direction. But I'd say 2/3, 66% is a pretty good ratio, a pretty good score. I guess from now on we can do the weekly hold, flip, or dumps, and then do these reviews every 3 weeks or so, and create these portfolios based on that, and then review how we're doing on a more long-term basis. Yeah, but I'm sure there are going to be tokens as well that we've flipped or dumped that will end up doing well, but I don't know, maybe 1 week we'll do like an analysis of all the ones that we've dumped and see which ones we were wrong on.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that the good formula is to be right more often than wrong. So that doesn't mean that we've got the right answers and all that, but it's always great just to have different perspectives, seeing how you've analyzed your how you've done your analysis, and just comparing to what I've done, and maybe you might be right, and going 50 on STORJ is the best play. So we'll go back to these 3 probably in a month or so and see how they're doing. But until then, so we'll leave it there. And wisdom starts with owning up to ignorance. So do your research, stay open-minded and humble, and you'll get the results that you want in life and your trading journey. So see you next week.
See you next week.